Hey everyone, it is October 2nd, 2024, and we just wanted to show you a little garden tour while things are still looking good and it's still 80 degrees outside before things start getting sad. So number one, things look a little chaotic. As you can see, our deck has a beautiful paint job. Not really. We've been focusing on some projects inside, and everything we did outside for the garden, we just kind of put stuff in the ground in June. A lot of it at the end of June, rather than actually spending the time to get things looking nice because we just didn't have time. Right here is kind of the bulk of the area of everything in ground. We have 5 rows of peppers here, 2 rows of tomatoes back there, and then over here we have some more tomatoes, some squashes, some cucumbers, and more peppers. These peppers here are kind of the star of the show. We have them organized into 5 rows. We got some super hots here, a row of kind of sweet peppers, some hot peppers that are not super hot. Most of these are actually piri-piris. And then this last row up front was just kind of everything we classified as small. As you can see, if you look around, tons of peppers. A lot of them are red. A lot of them are close to being red. I think we'll get most of these ripened before we actually get a freeze that's going to kill the plants. Let's start here over by the deck. Over here is pretty much all the larger peppers, like bell peppers, or sweet ones. We have some little sweetie yellows, chocolate beauties that we've harvested some of already. Looks like there's a couple in here. Some other bell peppers. These ones here I love. Ancient Sweets. They're long like Anaheim's. Really good for stuffing. Really good for just snacking on too. And they do quite well. But it's kind of funny, they always grow way too many for the plants to actually support, and they just end up lying on their side. These ones here are a bit interesting. They look like normal bell peppers kind of, but they are actually quite spicy. They're Antep-Achidomas. Then we have some gypsies over here. Buttercup squash plant. The bees love these flowers. Right now they've been sitting in them all day anytime there's one open. Right here we got a peanut plant. Some cucumbers growing in. Aunt Molly's ground cherries. These look pretty interesting. They look kind of like a tomatillo, but they're not. All right, let's take a closer look at some of these. This first plant over here is a red ghost pepper. Looking forward to making some spicy sauce with some of these. And if we come back by the tomatoes, you can get a better look of what's going on. Red ghost pepper on the right, and then the next 3 plants are Carolina Reapers. Next one down is something we got from Chili Chump. Big Mustard Mama. This thing looks awful dangerous. Moving down the line, you'll notice something that is not a pepper plant. This is fennel of some kind. They just kind of showed up out of nowhere. There's a few of them actually, so we just let them grow. Moving down the line, we have a chocolate primo tali. It's the first time for us growing this one. In fact, besides the Carolina Reaper and the ghost pepper and chocolate ghost pepper, most of these are first time grows for us. Next we have a Congo SR7 pot red. There's 2 plants here, very productive. Excited to try these. down at the end some 7-Pot bubble gums. These were very late to flower, so I don't know if we'll get any ripe 7-Pot bubble gums before the freeze. Second row, Scotch Bonnet Reds. 2 plants here. And if you notice all this leaf damage, we had a huge hailstorm in the middle of August. A lot of new growth has covered it up, but it was pretty devastating. Scotch Bonnet Red. These orange ones are Fatales. I got 2 Fatale plants. The next one's Naga Viper Brain. I got some dangerous looking little tails on all of them. Dorset Naga is next down the line. We got some Naga Morich over here. And then at the very end, here we have some bleeding jigsaws. Onto the third row. Here we have a Serrano Tampiqueño. These are an interesting plant. They're Serranos, but they're a little bit longer. And then a lot of them have a little bit more of a point rather than the typical round of a Serrano. Next, we have 2 Peppadew plants that are quite large, and they are completely covered with peppers. There's some red ones in here. About time to harvest a few more of those. Next, we have 2 Corbaci plants. I love the Corbaci. They're completely sweet. They're excellent for getting bulk in a sauce that you want to make spicy, but you know, you don't really want to change the flavor profile. But yeah, these things always do really well for us. These skinny little ones are Haimo Togarashis out of Japan. They're sweet as well. They're a nice little frying pepper. Chop up and add to stuff. This next one here, or these next 2, are Kashmiri Mirch. We've been drying a few of these, and turning them into powder. And then lastly, Turkish flower. Very unique plant. Spicier than we thought it would be. All the peppers kind of grow up in little groups. All right, row number 4. This one is a Ring of Fire. Essentially, it's a hotter cayenne. These 2 are Cobanero. These are great for drying and smashing up, using like you would on a pepper shaker for pizza. 2 super chili plants. These always do really well for us. Compact, but put on a ton of fruits. These next 6 plants are all piri-piris of 2 varieties. These 4 on the left are Chili Chump piri-piris. So we got these seeds from Chili Chump. They're his variety that he's been growing for years. And then these taller 2 are Mozambique piri-piris. We also got these from Chili Chump. Great plants. If you haven't bought any seeds from Chili Chump, I recommend you do. Probably about half the seeds in the garden this year are from him. All right, last row, but definitely not least. This first one is Yellow Boquino. Little tiny peppers, but they're supposed to pack a punch. I don't think we've tried them yet, though. Next 2 are Cascabellas. If you have ever been to In-N-Out, these are the peppers they have next to the ketchup. Some of them we pickled yellow, some of them we pickled red. Love these little things. And of course, they're all covered in dirt from the last rainstorm, splashing things up. This next one with these odd little round peppers is chotepe, diente de perro. And then these last two are sugar rush peach and sugar rush stripey. Okay, closer to the house, we got a bunch of tomato plants. Didn't do the greatest job pruning and maintaining them this year, but hey, they're producing. Speaking of in and out, these first three plants closest to the house are actually grown from seeds that I got from In-N-Out Burger tomato. Notice some hail damage on those, unfortunate, but hey, it's life. We were interested in growing these because, you know, going to a fast food place, their tomatoes are never really the greatest. We were thinking, what would it be like if we grew an In-N-Out tomato at home? Well, they're still not the greatest. We tried one today, and even when they're fully red, they don't get very soft, so they're very hard. My guess is they're quite good for shipping. Flavor's a little bit stronger than you get, you know, at a restaurant, but... So yeah, besides the In-N-Out tomatoes, we got some cool varieties. A French one, purple and yellow, Sartrelois, probably butchering that pronunciation. We got our usual favorites, like the Sun Sugar, probably my favorite cherry tomato I've found so far. Some large ones, I think these are called Old German. This one's called Primary Colors. It's pretty interesting looking. And then some pear-shaped ones. Just kind of a good mix. The view from up here on the deck makes it kind of look like one big mass of plants. They definitely got planted way too close. We had more than we had space for, so we just kind of put them in every 14 inches, and then the rows are spaced probably 18, 20 inches apart. So that does it for the main pepper and tomato area.